Hi, everyone. Welcome to our next installment of Getting to Know Jersey Sound Chorus. I am here today with one of our sister pairs, Nancy Curl and Diane Woodruff. So thank you, ladies, for joining me today. So we'll just jump right into it. And so first, tell me a little bit about your musical background and how you got into singing before joining the chorus.
Well, we both sang in church choir, high school choirs. I sang in my college choir. And my father, well, we both played the piano, and my father would get by the piano and we'd all sing as a family. And then I took kindergarten, and that's a whole day of singing.
Wonderful.
My earliest memory of singing was when my baby brother was born, and he was born in Philadelphia, and my grandmother was watching Diane and I, and she took us to a talent show while my mom was in the hospital. And we sang the song Dearie, not the Dearie that the chorus sang, but a different Dearie. And we came in first place. So I was 4, Diane was 6, and it's the earliest I can remember singing.
Wow, that's really exciting. So
Yes.
singing for a long time. So who joined Jersey Sound first, and when did you learn about the chorus and join?
Well, the year was 1980, so 40 years ago. And I took my mother to a mother-daughter banquet through our church, and there was a quartet there called the Strawberry Cordials. And as they were singing, my mother kept elbowing me in the side saying, "You should do this, you should do this." So the next week they gave out business cards, and the next week they were practically across the street from where we lived in Marlton. And I went to the rehearsal, and the rest is history. And they were getting ready to go to international down in Atlanta, Georgia. And because they had won the year before, you have to wait a year to go to contest. And so they were getting ready, and I thought, well, have a good time. It'd be nice to see you when you get back. And then the momentum started going, and I said, "You're not going without me." So I made my reservation and I went. So my very first competition was international in Atlanta, very first time on the risers. And we came in 4th in the world, so we were really excited. Now, we were the Medford Lakes chorus.
Whole world, right.
4th in the whole world.
Before Jersey Sound became Jersey Sound Chorus, it used to be called Medford Lakes Chorus.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so exciting that you had the opportunity to go to international immediately after joining. That's exciting.
I'm so glad I didn't miss the opportunity, because we've never come in first place. We tied for first one time, but never won first place again until it would have been this year. But, what are you going to do?
We always have next year. So
next year.
We're always striving to win our division so that we can earn a place to go to international the following year. So hopefully the next time we have the opportunity to compete, we'll be able to do that. So Diane, tell me a little bit about how you found the chorus and how Nancy educated you about Jersey Sound.
Dragged her in.
Dragged me in, kicking and screaming. It only took, 23 years or something?
Yeah.
And I would go to the performances of Jersey Sound. And of course, my 2 kids were little then. My husband worked shift work, and the kids had choir on Wednesday night. So it just didn't fit into my schedule. But finally, 2002 came along. Both kids were in college. I was an empty nester. Got a little bit emptier than I had thought it was going to be. My husband passed away. And I thought, I think I have one night a week I can do this. It's only one night, right?
Only one night. That's all
one
the
night.
time.
Yes. So, and I remember my first rehearsal night, I stood next to Sandy Biggs. And I remember how wonderful Christy was answering questions, and everyone made you feel so welcome that I knew that this was something I wanted to do.
Wonderful. That's exciting. And so now you've been part of the chorus for over 20 years.
Between
or 15, I'm sorry. Not good at math.
It'll be 20.
Wonderful. So, so my next question, could each of you tell me about a chorus accomplishment of the other that you're proud of? So Nancy, an accomplishment of Diane's that you're proud of, and Diane, an accomplishment of Nancy's that you're proud of.
Well, Diane runs the scholarship program in Jersey Sound and has done that for quite a few years. And it's so exciting to see the talent of our young girls that are coming through. I serve on the committee too. And every year we get that responsibility to select from that talented group of submissions And it's just an amazing thing. And Diane does a great job with it.
Sure does.
In fact, it's funny you say that because yesterday I got a email from a high school in South Jersey wanting to know if we're still doing it. And I said, yes. And we sticking to the deadline? I said, we will work with your candidates as much as we can. We certainly understand that given the circumstances, so far we haven't had any applicants, but I said, we'll extend the deadline. We'll exempt you from certain categories if that helps. So she's going to get back to me. But next year, email addresses.
Also,
contacting people.
The scholarship is in honor of Betty Albrecht, who used to be a member of Jersey Sound and then became Jersey Sound's director for a while. Amazing woman, very talented, and just the most enthusiastic person you can imagine. So they developed a scholarship in her name, and it goes to a girl who is going to further her education in some form of music, and it's a $500 scholarship.
Wow, that's exciting. I actually had a friend from high school who had applied for this particular scholarship and had won the scholarship, but this is way before I knew about Jersey Sound. So it's cool to see these things that are in my life that were like there and then circle back.
Now,
so Diane, an accomplishment of Nancy's that you're proud of?
Well, every year Nancy does the signs for when we go away for competition. And the week we have our retreat, which obviously this year, she gets her idea and whatever quote it was that coach was using, and she turns it with great creativity, always giving me credit for it. The only thing I do is I put Scotch tape on the back of the posters before we hang them on the door. But, and just how she does this so effortlessly, and she's wonderful.
Exactly. Yeah, I always look forward to seeing our door decorations. They have the names of all of the roommates that we normally have for contest, and whether or not the hotel allows us to put these signs up on the door, we have them anyway. And I think somewhere I still have mine in a box from all of my previous contests so far. So it's always fun to see the creativity that comes out of that. So thank you for sharing. So you have both worked on projects individually and together. So can you tell me about a favorite project or a favorite memory that you have of doing something together within the chorus and for the chorus?
Oh, absolutely. We've gotten to be the hostess chorus. Jersey Sound has been the hostess chorus a few times for the regional competition. And as part of that, we've been selected usually to do the awards and medals. So it's so much fun to do that because we get together and we have to string every single medal. They have to be 36 inches, and it's really a lot of fun. So Diane will tell you about the first time she helped me give them out at competition, and we'll go ahead.
Okay. We were backstage and they announced Jersey Sound had won a medal, and nobody came back from Jersey Sound to pick up the medals. So I put the medal on Nancy. Nancy put a medal on me. We're got theirs later.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
And just the last time we hosted, the stage backstage at the Hershey had no lights back there.
Oh my.
And see a thing. And luckily I have a halo. Actually, it's right here attached to you, so I have power. And it happens to have a very bright flashlight on it. And luckily, we use that flashlight all the time because otherwise we'd have been given the wrong colors and medals to people. But yes, and that's another thing. Nancy comes up with a theme and everything's to the tablecloth and how everything's ironed, and she's a perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm not a baritone either.
No, I'm not going to say that.
For those that don't know, when any chorus is the host chapter and they have to prepare the medals, they have to prepare the number of the largest competing chorus for every placement available, so that if that chorus places, they need to do, if there's 100 people in the biggest chorus, they have to do 100 blue ribbons for first, 100 red ones, 100 white, green, and yellow for the other places. Even if a chorus of 22 people wins the other ones, there's still 100 of each. So kudos to that for being organized and ironing.
Then the next year's chorus says, thank you very much, because now they don't have to do them.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's an exciting memory, especially getting to award the medals to each other. That's really
Yes,
nice.
that was
Yes.
fun.
Can you tell me a little bit about how being part of the chorus together has enhanced your relationship?
We see each other once a week. No, I'm sorry. At least once a week.
And Diane lives in Pennsylvania and I live in New Jersey. So we came about 35, 40 minutes, the same distance to get to Cinnaminson at the time. And so, I mean, we never would have gotten together that often, but we've always been close. We went to the same college and same interests, and yeah, we're very close.
Shop at the same Franklin Mills when it opened. Neither knew the other was there, circled each other the entire day, bought the same dress at Penny's, and didn't realize it till we got home and we're talking. And said, guess where I went today and bought? We had bought the same dress.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, and how do your families feel about you being in the chorus together? Are they supportive? Do they come out to see you both? What's that like?
Well, my guys have to be supportive because when I got home, well, I had Jonathan when I first joined. He was 1 when I joined the chorus. And I got home from that international competition and found out I was pregnant with Brian. And Brian was very fussy baby, brought him home from the hospital, wouldn't stop crying, put him on the changing table. And as we were, I was trying to change him and calm him down, we had been at the time singing the Rocky theme. And it goes, pa, 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 pa. And he stopped crying and he looked at me and like, I think I've heard that song before. And he had in utero for the last 9 months. And then my youngest son, Kevin, he was born 3 years later. And his delivery nurse was Jeannie Berrigan Moore, who was a bass. His intensive care NICU nurse was Anne Marie Steyan, who was a baritone. His roommate was a tenor from Jersey Sound, Lynn Morris. It was her son. He weighed 3 pounds. Mine weighed 10.9. And so we had a whole quartet in the hospital. So yeah, my kids are really, really into this.
That's so exciting. I didn't know that.
But only one of them followed through with the music, and that's my middle one. That's Brian. And one's a doctor, a cardiologist at the hospital where he was born. And
wow.
My oldest is a counselor for recovery.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, my kids have been banned from ever attending another Jersey Sound thing.
Oh no!
Because at a Christmas one, they got the giggles, and they giggled through our entire performance,
Oh, no.
or they would never attend another one. However, my daughter has surprised me several times now by when we do one of my favorite venues at Christmas, when we go to Haddonfield and stroll. And the one time I looked up and there she was out in the crowd of people that was watching us. So then we went out to dinner afterwards. So she's redeemed herself. He's still on the banned list.
That's good. Wonderful. Well, it sounds like you both have such enriching histories in Jersey Sound and with each other, and it's so nice to hear that your families are so supportive. Do you have any other favorite memories or things that you'd like to share before we finish up?
Oh, in 1986, in 1986, we hosted the international convention that was in Philadelphia, and at that time, the hostess chorus did everything. They were the ones that were planning. They didn't have like they do in the region and in international now, where everything is done and you just assist. We did everything for that one. And what an amazing experience. We used the busing person that had done the busing for the LA Olympics. We used 7 different hotels and the convention center in Philadelphia, and just an amazing thing. And I was a co-chairman of that with my best friend in the chorus was Cecile Alexander. And what a memory. It was awesome.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yep.
And I remember taking my 2 kids, my kids would have been maybe 3 and 4, and going, I think of this now and I like cringe, going to watch their competition. And I had the double stroller and I was in the back, and I thought, oh my goodness, I would kill somebody if they did that to us during a performance. Perfectly silent, and the minute it was over, I was out of there. But that was, yes. Oh, and another memory when Nancy turned, how old? 40, Nance? 40 or 50? When we were at Harrisburg.
50.
And
That
my
was just
sister-in-law
last
and I
year.
went out to see her, and then we were all going to go out to dinner with Natalie and Chris. And there's no shame in Jersey Sound. We're in their room, and they're in there all in ones, and they're getting changed. It's like, oh, okay, ladies. So we got to see, yes, way too much.
That's how we roll in chorus. I think
Yes.
everyone becomes just a little bit closer during retreat and contest weekend,
Yeah.
just because we're all
yeah.
sharing rooms and hairspray and makeup and all sorts of stuff. So I wanted to thank you both for joining me for our Getting to Know Jersey Sound members interview series. So thank you again to Nancy Curl and Diane Woodruff, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Getting to Know Jersey Sound. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you,
good day.
Julie.
Bye, guys. Happy Easter.